Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Georgia Member of Parliament John Koimburi's abduction saga is stinking to a higher motive. And I'm talking about this because of the level of denial, the high-profile denial that has now been staged by the state. And I concur with Kenyans who are saying that President William Ruto settled the discussion on who was actually abducting Kenyans when he owned up and said that they've stopped abduction. Remember, this question emerged when the Finland president was in the country. And then in this podcast, we are going to look at the reaction, the escape strategy that seem to be at play, even as the state, even as the country speaks about the Georgia MP abduction. And I said here, the fact that a member of parliament can be abducted and can undergo through that is a bad signal for this country. And I also mentioned here that the state could not handle it casually. No response. But today, we are seeing them responding. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our videos. And thank you very much for your support. We do this each and every day because of your support. So subscribe, because subscription is absolutely free. But the advantage is if you subscribe to this channel, whenever we publish a video, you're going to get notification and we give it a wider perspective. In Citizen TV studios, I would want you to take time and look at how George Murugara, the member of parliament from Tharaka Nithi, was agitated and was seated in the panel alongside Onyonka, the Kisii senator, and Gitonga Mukunji, Manyata member of parliament from Embu, and was actually disparaging in a pathetic manner that all these abductions seem to have been self-made by the victim.
Why? He's a state officer.
Not arrested.
He's a member of parliament.
But why should he not be arrested?
Just wait. Why should you arrest anybody?
Because that is what the law provides.
That is not what it does. First, you are summoned.
The law provides.
You are in. Just wait, Mheshimiwa.
Which law says what you say? You don't.
Let me ask you.
Let's not throw
when
the law does.
When a police officer comes to check on me if I've broken the law, what does he do?
He comes to establish whether you've committed an offense.
Wait. So why would they abduct the MP?
Unfortunately, and we got to be right with this, it's a question of whether you support the government.
No, wait, answer me. Why did they then abduct him?
I'm sorry. Where do you get the abduction from? Senator.
Oh my God.
Senator.
It is in the paper here.
It is in the paper.
Don't tell me the newspaper, these people are mad.
We are not saying anything.
Are you telling me these people, these two headlines are mad?
We are not saying anything.
Sammy, I don't think I need to be here with such a guy.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think you don't come here and rant and shout and then you say, yes, you can go if you want to go.
No.
I'm sorry.
In fact, I allow this guy to continue pontificating about this.
Just calm down, because you need
You mean these headlines are all fake?
We need to have a conversation.
I'm sorry.
I think some. Let me be the voice of reason here. Let me be the voice of reason.
Sorry.
Let me be the voice of reason here.
Yes, Mheshimiwa.
And I want to say that I feel like my good friend Gitonga Murugara must take back his words. Before you even say anything about this issue, you need to realize this is a colleague like you.
I'm sorry, I know it.
You know,
Gitonga.
No.
Gitonga. You're also a colleague like me.
This gentleman, right on the first page of the paper.
Yes.
Is this a picture you would like to see?
I wouldn't want to see.
Why did you say that this man might be pretending?
That's why
that's not right.
That's why I need
That's not right. Which investigation?
Okay.
Are we going to trust? Are we going to trust the investigation organ? Are we going to investigate the investigating organ? If even today they are trashing this issue, are we going to investigate and say we can trust what these people are going to tell us?
Chairman,
are we going to accept?
The point of contention here, it's okay, Mheshimiwa. The point of contention here, I think it's your remark saying that him being a politician, you sort of insinuated that you cannot trust that this actually happened to him.
Correct.
Being inflicted from
I don't
elsewhere.
trust even Mukunji was abducted. I don't trust an inch of that.
So talk
and I'm
to
going
me.
to say it.
Okay. It's fine. It's his opinion.
I don't trust you
until it happens to somebody.
Just a moment.
Until it happens to somebody.
Chairman, you chair the Justice Legal Affairs.
Yeah,
correct.
believe it. He chairs the Justice and Legal Affairs.
At the Senate, it is also the committee that takes care of human rights issues.
Absolutely.
At the National Assembly, which committee takes care of that?
Justice and Legal Affairs.
Justice Legal Affairs.
Yes.
So talk to me
You're
about.
full of yourself here.
Yes. No. Mheshimiwa Mukunji, please.
Mukunji, you don't use foul language.
Chairman,
I'm sorry.
No. You made a fool of yourself here. You cannot say we are pretending.
You're saying you're clever than me.
How do you say people are pretending?
Please,
You
don't be
pretended you were
distracted.
abducted.
Chairman Murugara,
For what?
Don't be distracted.
For your own sake.
No.
I'm sorry,
What did I benefit?
Because you had the reasons to do it.
So if I lost my life, would you be saying the same?
Mheshimiwa
How
Mukunji,
would you have
can
lost?
we make progress? I know the Senator Onyonka, you wanted to say something because I want us to take a short break.
I'm kind of just feeling like I'm silly.
Why?
I actually don't feel like sitting here.
What is it?
I mean, a head of state comes to, he's in Homa Bay and he says, yes, I'm going to stop the abductions. Raila is standing there and he's telling him, I've said Ruto should stop the abductions. Ruto comes and says, I've stopped their abductions, all the people are abducted, they are now with their parents and everything. He is the chairman of the damn committee. Did he summon anybody to ask him why the president was admitting to those crimes?
Can I respond?
What am I doing?
Let me respond. I'm sorry. If Senator Onyonka doesn't want to be...
No, you can't.
I think I need to
go.
No.
I'm sorry. Can I respond to that?
We have so many...
Can I respond, please?
You can't give
What
up
am
on
I saying?
Kenya.
You don't judge yourself and you say people like this.
Senator Onyonka, you cannot...
It's so disappointing for a state.
I can assure you.
No, Senator...
No, he should resign. I'm going to call out him in the National Assembly.
You will not.
Senator...
I'm going to call you out.
Just hold on.
I know you have the numbers, but you cannot make the whole National Assembly look stupid because of this.
Please,
It's not acceptable.
These are material that you have that
You talk about Mukunji does not even come to Parliament. So he will make it where?
What does
Doesn't
it
come to Parliament.
It doesn't come to Parliament. Where does it go?
Where
does it
The
go?
other guy, you talk about Mukunji doesn't come to Parliament. Where is going to
the
debate?
executive, they have been
It should come to Parliament.
selling everything.
So now...
Even rights of Kenyans.
Chairman...
Yes, sir.
We are making
Let me respond this way.
These are the people you call leaders.
Sorry.
Please, for us to have a serious discussion, can you allow the chairman to leave?
Unfortunately,
Can you allow the chairman to leave it?
hold on, if you
defend
talk
the
about
Chairman.
Mukunji, you don't go up to Parliament, so you're going to make your knee nowhere.
Chairman,
So I stay in Parliament 24 hours if there.
No, you stay in
I'll
Parliament.
be there.
I will come there and I'll call you out.
Let me respond.
I'm going to call you out in
Let
Parliament.
me make a response.
It has to be in answers that I call you.
Let me make a response.
That the victim are the perpetrators, while it is actually it is a narrative that seems to be at play. But I think the state is playing with fire because it is the same thing that used to happen. You know, there was a time that even Atuli said it, that people are abducting themselves. It is shocking that we seem to be going back to that narrative, and the country is not comfortable with it. Now look at this. You can look at the kind of anger that, of course, you can really feel how Onyonka was feeling uncomfortable in that panel. The state denial is one thing. And I think I mentioned yesterday when I first did this video that since the incident started, we were not seeing police presence. And I analyzed on Monday afternoon that it has taken the police too long even to give. Remember, the MP was abducted on Sunday. No one denied. The story came out and no one denied it. They didn't make any statement. The MP reappeared on Monday and was found somewhere. I've listened to a statement from Kanja, the IG boss. He's released that statement. And I want us to break down that statement. And you will see how in their narration about what they've done, they're only pointing, while they are not going conclusive, but the report has been given to try to, of course, anchor the narrative their standpoint that the MP abducted himself.
Visiting the alleged scene and thoroughly documenting the area. Upon comparing vegetations and road dimensions at the scene with those in the video, it was established that the two did not match. During questioning, one Moses Kariuki, the caretaker of the coffee farm, which is owned by one Jimmy Wajigi, stated that he had not witnessed such an incident. The officers then proceeded to Princeview Hospital in Ruiru, where the Member of Parliament had reportedly been taken for treatment. They confirmed that the vehicle used to transport him, registration numbers KCJ 660P, belonged to the Honorable Member of Parliament, George Koimburi, and was driven by one Frida Jerry, who was also the first responder at the alleged crime scene. The hospital did not disclose the nature of the treatment or the first aid administered, making it difficult to assess the extent of the alleged injuries. Meanwhile, a specialist team from the DCI headquarters, supported by forensic experts from the National Forensic Laboratory, was promptly deployed to the scene to conduct a thorough examination, gather critical evidence, and establish the circumstances surrounding these allegations. To date, the investigating team has interviewed and recorded statements from 5 individuals, with several more expected to provide their accounts, and particularly Honorable interview at the earliest opportunity after his family objected to our attempts to reach him.
One, he's saying that coffee plantation belongs to Wanjigi. So does he want to say that probably it was Wanjigi's place or something? Remember, he's dragging Wanjigi's name, because you'll actually ask, why is the owner of the coffee plantation a question here? You know, why is a question here? Number two, they've gone to that rural hospital where he was taken first. No examination was done. That was just taken for, I think, some first aid. Then they've also gone to Karen Hospital, and according to what they're analyzing the videos and the photos there, which sometimes it depends what you want to achieve. You can analyze the way you want to, with an objective that you want to achieve. And number 3 observation I made is that the police boss is not responding to 2 questions that Rigathi said. Number 1, the issue of chemical poison. Number 2, Rigathi mentioned about a police squad made of some Kalenjin tribe who are behind the spate of abductions. Now, that has not been made. No explanation has been given about that, and nothing else has been said about that move. So that is another question, or that is a matter into question. And I think the statement by NPS on the issue of land, what exactly is the case? You know, remember, one of the things I think they cannot escape, even as they maintain the defense line, the denial line, but the MP was facing an arrest on Friday. So he escaped an arrest. Why? Sometimes you are arrested on Friday so that you can spend the whole weekend. Yes, that is the reason behind it. But I don't understand why instead of arresting you, someone and that person appears in court. Did he refuse to be? Must you arrest me if an MP, I'm just asking, if you summon an MP, even to appear in court with his lawyers or write a statement or so, will he not? So I think an arrest should be effected whether someone, maybe there are those orders and is refused, or we just give warrant of arrest just elsewhere. How will William Ruto state machinery escape the narrative that those who wanted to arrest the MP on Friday are the ones that abducted him?
Yeah, the former Attorney General, whose own son was abducted, probably should say a word about abductions that he has called for an end to. JB, please.
Thank you, my colleagues. I've always called for an end to abductions, and we thought when President Ruto, in answer to a question from a foreign journalist, saying that they have all come to an end, and all those that have been abducted and safely been returned to their homes and reunited with their families. Only, unfortunately, to see this latest one of Honorable Koimburi. And just to answer a simple question, on Friday last week, the police who are looking for Honorable Koimburi did not get him. He managed to escape. The police continued to look for him. They arrested his driver. His vehicle is still at the Bodaiga police station. That was Friday. And then on Sunday, he said, Troke has to know the people that were hunting for Koimburi on Friday are the same ones who are looking for him on Sunday.
You know, I'm asking that question because now that is where the dots are. And if you listen to Muturi was there. If you listen to Muturi is alluding to that. Muturi is saying, why are we having a discussion about self-made abduction or abducted by the state while they are taking this conversation to Mwananchi? And I don't know whether William Ruto and his team will be able to convince Mwananchi that what they are saying about self-abduction is actually true. And I should demonstrate to you that this is a scheme. Today the parliament resumed its sessions. And in the first motion, remember an MP has been, an MP was killed. That was January, when Parliament was heading to recess. Remember, at the same time, Koimburi was abducted, a member of Parliament. Two priests, one in Marakwet, the other one in Nyahururu, were abducted and killed. The one in Marakwet was just shot by bandits, alleged bandits. Then when Junet went to Parliament, the minority leader, he went there and called for a censure motion against Gachagua. You know, against what Gachagua said on that PEV.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Junet Mohammed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of adjournment of the House on definite matter of urgent national importance to discuss the threats by the former Deputy President on the recurrence of post-election violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 331, I seek leave for the adjournment of the House for purposes of discussing a definite matter of urgent national importance regarding the threats by the former Deputy President on the occurrence of post-election violence in the country. Honorable Speaker, on 16th May 2025, while attending an interview, the former Deputy President was on record alluding to a recurrence of the post-election violence experienced in 2007-2008. Arising from alleged planned electoral malpractices in the upcoming 2027 general elections, the former Deputy President issued veiled threats and calls to violence which left unchecked are likely to endanger the security and the well-being of our nation. Given the recommendations of the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission, TJRC, and the Commission of Inquiry into the Post-Election Violence that led to the...
They were supposed to arrest Gachagua. Gachagua was not arrested. So to divert the attention, and the discussion of the country now is about two things. It's about that Koimburi abduction and what is happening in Tanzania. And so the question that all this, but then this begs is, why are we not picking that discussion? So you can see a diversionary tactic even in the flow of House. And MPs were actually expecting, remember, the MPs were expecting censure motion, House to be adjourned, to discuss the security of the country. And then from there, they would actually invite maybe one member of parliament, the cabinet secretary responsible to respond. And this is what is going on. And there is something I need to tell the ODM team. I know the Nyanza team are struggling to get the object of hate. And that object of hate is now being framed to be Gachagua. Seemingly, one of the critical things about it is that Gachagua might not even vie. I don't know how then that he becomes the object of hate. I'm saying object of hate because I saw Nyando, Member of Parliament, David Okello, saying if Gachagua is not arrested, then himself, I don't know, he will arrest Gachagua and sue him about X, Y, Z. The ODM are getting into a space that, according to me, is not their space. And when you are crushing Gachagua at a time, the country feels Gachagua is the person ambaye ni mtetezi wa watu, and ODM was built on that foundation, then someone is misadvising the largest party in Western Kenya. Someone is misadvising them. And I saw Wetangula saying that even the family has declined, has turned away state agents who are going to visit Koimburi. Why would you think they will decline? Yes, why would you think they will decline? There is a lot of mistrust. And from when Rigathi Gachagua went there and made that statement that maybe the MP was poisoned by some chemical, as to whether it is true or false, we will find. Of course, the doctor's report is what bears that. Maybe Rigathi was told about it. But then it means that the state a bit uncomfortable with him. It is just assessing his situation to see maybe they are planning to rearrest him direct from the hospital. Number one, that is why the family is refusing. Number two, I think the opposition team are very keen on how they interact with the state. And the discussion about chemicals, chemical to another puliza. So there is a bit of caution on the side of the family. Lastly, see just anger that nyinyi mmetufanyia hivi hatutaki kuwaona. The issue of security in the country must be a big concern, and I repeat, we cannot afford to be casual about it. I have seen Kawira Mwangaza, the Meru governor, moving around with a militia, wamebeba mapangas na marungu. Why? To her rallies, because her rallies are normally disrupted. Police and goons that are paid to disrupt. So we need to be very careful as a country, and I always believe we can differ on many things. There is no law that is saying we must say the same thing, that we must agree on everything. Our democracy allows variations, a situation where you are saying this, I'm saying that. But then we should not lose the country in the middle of our differences. allegations of abduction militia is a big one. And I think that is why the state has to deny, has to put the state the high-profile denial. Instead of it, I believe even, and I say, even if it were not the state, then they should tell us who. Stop telling us it is MP who abducted himself. You cannot abduct yourself and inflict pain on you. That doesn't look legit. You cannot abduct yourself and inflict pain on yourself. So if it were not the state, then who are they? That is what you need to. And things are a bit technical because Rigathi could be getting a lot of intel from the insiders. The other issue is Koimburi abduction is a sign of a high-profile strategy that has been laid, scheme, just to crush dissidents. And that is one of the narratives that is there. IG Carter is feeling the pressure because when the rubber meets the road, he's the one who is going to be asked more difficult questions. And the next language would be, Kanja should go, or Kanja must go. So ladies and gentlemen, that is my take. Let's meet in the next. Thank you.